Hi everyone. Basically, in the context of our upcoming GRC Summit in August 2023, we got an opportunity to have a view of Lee Dittmar, who actually the keynote speaker of the last year. Hi Lee, how are you?
Greetings, Anton. Nice to see you.
It's great that we meet again after the GRC Summit 2022 last year.
Can't believe it's been a year since last year's GRC Summit.
As we are now approaching GRC Summit 2023 that will be held on 24 and 25 August 2023 in Yogyakarta, Indonesia, would you please share some thoughts and or foresight on how the thematic of last year, i.e. selling in the multiverse, relate to the theme of this year, i.e. building resilient future through GRC and ESG. Please, Lee, share your thought.
Thanks very much for the opportunity to share my perspective and connect the dots between the themes of last year's conference and this year's. Last year, we were sailing in the multiverse of uncertainty. And this year, we're building resilience through GRC and ESG. And there is a very important connection between these two themes. And let me bring that to light today. First, let's talk about what GRC and ESG represent. GRC, of course, is the integrated set of capabilities that allows organizations to reliably achieve their objectives while dealing with uncertainty, managing risk, and operating with integrity. ESG is the collection of multiple and diverse stakeholder interests and perspectives about what an organization should do with respect to environmental, social, and governance issues. Now, resilience building through GRC requires an understanding of how these important concepts are intertwined. GRC defines the how, ESG defines the what. Now, here's the important part. Building resilience means being adaptable and being prepared to deal with any eventuality, things that you can predict, things you cannot, dealing with uncertainty, for any disruption that could come your way. What kind of disruptions? Could be global pandemics, could be geopolitical issues, could be changes in social priorities, and of course, environmental issues, most notably today, climate change. These, of course, are core ESG issues. Now, in my opinion, there's not been enough focus on the use of ESG principles and issues to really drive the building of resilience. And that's why I really applaud this year's theme about really using ESG in part to identify the areas to focus on to be resilient about. Last year at the GRC Summit, I spoke about ESG as a force that could not be ignored. But I also explained that the future of the consequences of ESG and the direction of ESG issues were likely to change at some time in the future. The precise direction and speed and consequences could not be predicted. This only added to the multiverse of uncertainty. I think this is even more evident today than it was a year ago. Now, you'll remember that a key message of my keynote was that exponential technologies and the changes that come with them would be the biggest contributor to uncertainty and to the future GRC challenges. I also talked about how these technologies would make it possible to make GRC more effective and more efficient. Now, the same point can be made with regard to ESG issues. Exponential technology developments will directly impact and even define the issues of relevance and concern in the ESG domain. For example, the S in ESG, the social issues. Think about how artificial intelligence will affect employment and the financial well-being of so many workers. Now think about potentially disparate impacts of AI across socioeconomic groups. Clearly a big issue. Now, with just a little imagination, I'm sure that you can think about any number of additional impacts that exponential technologies will have on ESG issues, both in good and potentially in bad ways. Business leaders, managers, and directors must consider how their strategies and their operations impact multiple stakeholders. And they must consider how they will be impacted by ESG issues and concerns. And finally, they must consider across all this the impact and consequences and potential benefits of exponential technologies. Now, I'm sure that participants at this GRC Summit are going to learn a lot about how GRC can help with dealing with ESG issues. I'm really sorry I can't be with you in person, but I will be participating virtually. So my wish to you, Anton, have a great GRC Summit, building resilience through GRC and ESG.